Ladies and gentlemen, hello, my name is Sander Schroevers for the cross-cultural course. This video I would like to explain you more about how to arrange a translated survey. Okay, it is a little bit of extra work at the beginning, but it's not that much work actually. And I think you will obtain much more and much better results, which again proves positively for your grades of the Survey 1 and, if you have to do that as well, the Survey 2 assignments. Without further ado, let's dive in. Step 1. Check if your language is available. You can do that directly on the Qualtrics survey and then check the drop-down menu. Mind you that it is written in the original language, maybe you don't directly recognize it, and therefore we also have a second way, and that is in subfolder 6, translated surveys, we have uploaded an Excel file which lists the language names alphabetically in English. Now there you can check if it's available, great, and maybe you just want to work a little bit on the invitation messages, for which we have a different subfolder and a different video explaining that. But if you don't see it and you're considering having it translated, then you can start with that, and we'll reward your effort with bonus points, because that's the currency we have at GBS CCBS. It's not yuan, ruble or any of that kind, it is credits. Step 2. Download the translation template. This is a Microsoft Word document, and if you go to Downloads on Microsoft Teams and then the folder Survey Tools, and you go to subfolder 6 called Translated Surveys, you see some documents. One is the guidelines, which is basically the same as this video. There's the overview of translated surveys in Excel, which I told you, but the one you need to download is the Word document called Template for Translating the Survey. What you see is on the left side we have tables with the important translations we need, and then where it says your translation, that's where you, or perhaps the translator that you work with, will file the translations. Now you see it's a table, and I do that because, for instance, in the case of Chinese or Thai, I am not that sure where it starts and where it stops. This is difficult for outsiders and you can make bad mistakes, so therefore the table helps me to know which element I will copy where in the Qualtrics platform. What we see is that there is tables on the left side that are somewhat different from the one under the column Your Translation. There's a reason for that, and I want to ask you, don't try to make it look like the stuff on the left, because I need those phrases as one cell, and therefore it's a lot less work for me than manually taking out all the hard returns. So if you could just keep on typing but look on the left side for what it is, you would help me a bit. Thanks for that. An important guideline is to use correct survey terminology. Surveys, of course, you can translate it as a language, but also there is some particular survey lingo where it looks a bit stupid if we don't have the professional correct terms. What I'm referring to is things like very much like me, somewhat like me, a little like me, not at all like me. We use that 6-point scale, Likert scale. But there is an accepted academic, scientific wording for that scale, and you would need to look that up, because otherwise we really look silly. How could you do that? Well, I would say with Google, in the particular language, which I explained in my Searching Non-English, you use the platform SurveyMonkey or Qualtrics or Google Forms, and that's where a lot of surveys are being conducted, and that way you would be able to see good samples, but do a little bit of searching because the quality gets so much better. Thank you. Step 4. Who's translating? Well, we know who's not translating, and that is Google Translate, DeepL, and to some extent ChatGPT. It's just too little and too late. So we also would like, you can use maybe ChatGPT to start with, but it always needs to be double checked. What we rather have is a native speaker. If you don't speak the language, but you still want to try to get a translated survey to get better responses or for the bonus credits, of course you can find somebody who can help you. But you also have freelancers like platforms like Fiverr.com. There's some other translation platforms that are specifically only for translation. But then again, we would need somebody who uses the language with the right hierarchical nuances and subtleness, because we are aiming at professionals, executives, high-ranking people in organizations. We don't want to irritate them with too informal and loose language, because there's only one first impression. What we noticed is that when we work with translated surveys, people tend to give much better answers because it's their own language. The advantage of that is that once we have translated, which is not so difficult and which we'll also explain you, if you have translated the open answers, then you can use them as direct quotes in your deliverable. And maybe you remember that for the country profile, we ask that almost every section has 3 to 4 local sources. Now, once you've finished translating all the tables and you have found somebody who is doing a second reading and suggest maybe also some improvements, then you can just mail me or app me the Word file, because I need to work on it, and it needs to be a Unicode file which works on the Qualtrics platform and then also has all the diacritics and special reading marks that are part of other languages. Naturally, I'll make sure that your team gets its bonus points. For the arranger and the person that does the hard work, there is 2 bonuses, a full point on top of your survey 1 and survey 2, or if you GBS, some other fair bonus arrangement. And all team members, they get it just for 1. And that's it. By translating the survey, you're really helping us to expand the dataset, and I think it also helps in boosting your own result in the survey and of course the grade, which is connected. I want to really thank you for helping to make the Global Leadership Project even better. Thanks a lot, and hope to see you in class or on another video. Doei doei!